Happy rainy Wednesday from Texas. Texas is so funny. Texas is definitely feminine. I mean, for all the cowboys and stuff that we have going on here, the state, the weather of this state is so feminine, so feminine. And feminine energy has been just kind of the topic of the last few days. It's been very interesting. I taught a class on Saturday and we were talking about the divine masculine and feminine energies and the characteristics. And last night I attended a women's circle and we talked about, the characteristics of the feminine and everything. And this morning I just got up and I was just like, it's so cold out and it's like cold and wet. And I feel like I'm in Seattle all over again. And I'm like, this is why I moved out of Seattle. Like I love Seattle, love Seattle. But this North State California girl needs her sunshine. She needs her sunshine. So I just want to jump on a plane today and go to some Caribbean island where the sun is shining and I can just get my rays in and enjoy some warmer temperature, because the temperature here is definitely cold. And the state of Texas, the weather is like a girl. It is. We're very, very all over the place. And it's that stormy energy, and I don't mean stormy in the essence of negative, but I mean just that can't make her mind up. Like Texas energy cannot make its mind up. We had beautiful sunshine and 65 degrees just a couple days ago. Last night it was sleeting by the time I got out of the women's circle. This morning it's raining. There might be snow on the forefront. There might be a balmy sunny day on the forefront for the next couple days. Who knows? It is just this emotional weather that our state has for this time of the year and for just about any time of the year. But that's not what today's topic is about. That was just me killing time on the front side, allowing people to jump on. Morning, Addison. Morning, Steve. Morning, Craig. And whoever else out there that I don't see. So today, the topic is very much focused on the potholes of sadness. That sadness is this emotional pothole. And it is definitely, as you know, Conscious Coffee gets birthed. The topic of Conscious Coffee gets birthed from what is coming up in my world, whether that is something that I personally am going through, or it's something that I'm seeing my clients go through, or that I'm getting fed, from different people who are messaging me and saying, hey, how do I do this? What's going on here? Just messages of stuff. And this topic is something that a few of my clients right now in this moment are they are in the heart of this pothole. Hold on, my phone, I forgot to silence it all the way. Hold on. Oh, no more buzzing. Can't do that. Everybody's blowing me up because they're like, oh, look, she's doing Conscious Coffee. I'm going to text her 15 times. They're silenced now. But yesterday I was working with a beautiful woman on this very topic, and she came to me and she's just like, I've done all of this work. And I'm sad still. I just can't break the sadness. I was talking to another woman the other day, and she's like, I just battle with depression, and I battled with it for years. And then this morning I woke up to a lengthy message from a gentleman who was like, I have all these reasons to be happy, so why am I sad? Give me a good reason as to why I am sad. And here's the reality. Your sadness is telling you that you're wrong, that you're out of alignment with your truth, that you're not in alignment with who you really are, that your internal, the truth that is actually you, your divine consciousness, that state of being that you could say, oh, I feel so strong in myself. I feel like I really know myself. I feel like I know who I am. I have a clear, concise direction in my life. And this is that stability factor inside that we each have. It doesn't waver, okay? It doesn't waver. It just is. Some refer to it, if you believe spiritually or religious-wise, this would be called your soul, your spirit. It could be, that this higher source that moves through you. If you're not looking at it from that perspective, you could just say that this is your core truth. This is just who you are at your core, and that stability factor. Sadness, and the reason why I used potholes was because I was listening to his tale, and they're talking about how they just, they're driving down the road, and the more they focus on not hitting the potholes in the road, the more the more they hit the potholes in the road. And this is what sadness is. Sadness is those potholes in our world. And we go, why am I hitting these? Why am I sad right now? Well, it's because we're bringing our attention to the pothole. Anything that we put our focus on is where we direct, where it's where we guide ourselves. And it's much like driving a car. Our life is our car. Our emotions, which are created by our thoughts, is our car. This is where we are moving forward. This is how we create the feelings that we're having. We're just not consciously aware of what we're thinking. We are really great at faking ourselves into thinking that we're thinking something else when we're like, oh, I'm so happy about this. I'm so happy about this. But then there's an underlying current of fear, of scarcity, of sadness there, of this worry. Okay, so we have anxiety and worry and fear, scarcity, fear of abandonment, fear of having love retracted from us in some way, all of this different stuff. And if we have this program running that we're not worthy of love, that we have to do something to hold on to it, to contain it, to keep it, it puts us into this hold of anxiety, frustration, fear, all of this stuff that is more of a controlling factor, which gets us right here gripping in pain, in sadness. And we can go, oh, I'm really happy about this, I'm really happy about that, but we're holding it right here. And what's coming out is that we're seeping this negative thoughts that we're not consciously aware of out into the system. And without us realizing it, we're actually guiding ourselves to the potholes. We're guiding ourselves to the potholes. And then we hit a pothole and we're like, why am I sad? Like, I have nothing to be sad about. I have absolutely nothing to be sad about. Like, my world is awesome. My world is great. This amazing thing just happened. So why am I sad? And it is this internal thought process that is guiding us there. The trick to this, obviously, is awareness of just really shining a light on what is really going on inside of us, what we're really truly feeling, paying attention to the physical body and going, okay, I feel tension here. I feel, pain here. I feel this, what we would contribute to negative sensation in the body. Come back to our body's wisdoms, pay attention to that and go, what is that I'm really holding there? What is that is triggering out these negative thoughts? Because I must be having negative thoughts if I am sad. I must be having thoughts that are leading me to these potholes if I am sad. And if I'm not conscious of them, that means that they're subconscious, that they're coming out and I'm not aware, right? So I have to shine the light. So we have to go on a treasure hunt for the negative thoughts so that we can go, oh, here it is. Oh, here it is. And when I think it, I feel this. And when I think that, I feel this. And what is triggering this? Oh, every time I'm around this person, I start to think this because they make this statement. Or this person brings up, I don't want to lose this person in my life. Or, I don't want to lose this person in my life. And even though I'm happy to have them in my life, there is this fear of losing them as well. And I have this constant undercurrent of fear. So there's these gripping thoughts of, I need to control this. I'm going to lose this. I'm not worthy of it. I've done this. I've done that. They're responsible for this. We got all these blended emotions, which prevents us from actually feeling joy, from feeling happiness, and keeps us in a state of sadness or hitting those potholes, even though we got good shit going on in our life. As person I was talking to yesterday, she was explaining to me that, that she just has absolutely no ability to, really, she just doesn't understand why man, I just got these messages. I need to just silence everything. Hold on. I thought I did. Okay. So she was saying to me that, that she just feels like she just keeps getting stuck in these currents of sadness and that it's just not getting better, even though she has all this stuff going on. How can I be grateful? How can I have this going on and not be happy in this state? And I've done all this work. I've shined all these lights, but I'm not getting better. Well, here's the thing. What ends up happening is that we slam ourselves with these negative thoughts, these things that we're thinking, these things that trigger us in different ways. Hey, babe, come on.
Bye.
Bye. And this breaks down our self-worth. So when we break down our self-worth, obviously we're not going to be confident in our actions, in who we are, and we're going to become critical of the world around us because we're critical of the world that is going on inside of us, that world being our thoughts and our emotions, the way we're feeling about things. And we start self-sabotaging, we start daggering ourselves with, if I done that better, if I was better at this, if I had spoke up over here, if I could do that, if I could do that, if I was more like that. And we start into this comparison game where we start comparing and competing with others outside of ourselves, and we look to them and we're like, well, if I was more like that, then I would be happy. Then I would be happy if I looked like that. Then I would be happy if I had that kind of job. Then I would be happy if I made that much money. Then I would be happy if I had a partner like that. Then I would be happy if I lived there too. And then I would be, all this kind of stuff. I would be happy if I had that kind of freedom. I would be happy if I had that kind of control. And we just start to really do this breakdown inside of ourselves where we are so critical of self that we have to point it outward. And then we get into blaming and we get into judgment and criticism. But that makes us feel like crap because that's not who we really are. I really don't believe that anybody at their core level is that level. That is such an illusion of the self. That is a person that is living in their state of ego, not in their state of their truth at all. Because when we're in our truth, when we are acting from a place of our truth, we are also coming at life from a high level of self-worth, a high level of self-compassion, of self-love, and of confidence. So we can actually connect confidently and feel secure in who we are. And we know that we're worthy of love. We know that we're worthy of connection. We know that we're worthy of a dynamic relationship. We know that we're worthy of abundance financially or health-wise. We get that is the state that we should be existing in, that we prevent ourselves from in this blocking, in this self-sabotage of scarcity, fear, from having all of that. And when we're in that state of confidence, guess what happens? We also just nip this thing called sadness in the butt because we're not steering towards those potholes. Because our focus, you cannot be confident and focused on a pothole. You cannot do that. You're not going to go, oh, I'm so confident. What's that pothole over there? No, we go to the pothole because of our fear. We go to the pothole because of our own self-criticism. We go to the pothole because of our own lack of worth. And everything that, that lack of self-love that we all go through, okay? But when we are in a state of confidence, we get that we're in control of us. We're not in control of all of this stuff out here. This is just messages coming back to us. We draw to us what we are thinking and feeling. And that comes to us as messages in how our outer world is materializing. And when we're in that state of confidence, guess what we're thinking? We're thinking good thoughts. We're feeling good about our body. We're feeling good about our life. We have legitimate gratitude for things, not false gratitude for things. We're not in a state of fear because we feel good. And fear and feeling good do not operate in the same realm. Okay? So it's just like I had somebody ask me yesterday, what's the opposite of fear? And I messaged back, love. Love's the opposite of fear. And that's true. So what is a state of confidence? A state of confidence is a love-based energy that we're in. We're not in that state of fear because anything that is in fear is going to contribute to all those negative emotions, sadness, anger, depression, the guilt and shame, worry, anxiety, overwhelm. All of that is caused from fear. Fear is an illusion of our ego state. It is telling us that we are not good enough, that we are empty without, that we need to control a situation. And when we're in that state of love, we come at things from a place of wholeness, completeness, fulfillment, and we get that all we have to do is keep our focus on that. We move forward and good shit just keeps coming to us, and things just magically work out. We don't have to try to figure out why we're feeling sad. We just have to level up our thinking so that we level up our emotionalizing. If we go back and we go, why am I sad? Why am I sad? Why am I sad? Why am I sad? Where did it happen? Where did it happen? If you really need to do that, go play with it. And you'll prove me right, that the more you play with why am I sad, you're going to find out that you're going to become more sad. You're going to just steer your vehicle straight to those potholes, and you're going to get stuck in the mud of those potholes because you're not going to be able to move out of it because you've applied all your attention to why am I sad? Why am I sad? So as you try to really dig in there and dig into that, you're going to go, oh crap, now I'm stuck in it. Now I'm stuck in it. And if you need to go get stuck in a pothole to learn a lesson, go for it, because there's a lesson in that. There is a lesson in that. But the only way you're going to get your vehicle out of that pothole and get moving down the road on the path that you're really wanting is to bring your attention to something that feels a little bit better than what you're thinking and feeling right now. This does not mean that I'm going to be sad right now and in 5 minutes from now I'm going to be joyous. I'm just going to be elated. No, you can't go from sad to elated. You can go from sad to angry. You can go from angry to blaming, okay? You can go from blaming to feeling anxiety or overwhelm. You can go from overwhelm to boredom. And from boredom, you can make a conscious decision to tap into peace, because peace and boredom are the same coin, opposite sides. And once you get to that state of boredom, like I am just bored with this and truly feeling boredom, now you've reached into a land where you're like, okay, now I am now at a point where I can really move my energy, and I get to choose, do I want to go back into the pothole or do I want to move forward down this beautiful path? But you're never going to get from that place of sadness to a place of elation, joy, and love like that. You can move quickly. You can move quickly, but you're not going to get sadness to love in the next second. You have to move up that emotional scale, and the emotional scale is created by the thoughts that you are thinking, which means what are you bringing your attention to? What are you focusing on? I encourage you today that if you are in this place of sadness, of anxiety, of anger, of frustration, of anything that you constitute as a negative emotion, I want you to look at what am I thinking right now? Oh, I'm thinking this shit right here. I'm fearing this shit. I'm looking at what I don't have. I have set expectations. I've given myself a harsh timeline. I have myself believing that I can't be happy unless I have ABC. I can't feel fulfilled unless I have ABC. I can't feel joy in my life unless I get this done. And I've put some freaking timeline on it. Or I feel like I need to control a situation. If you're feeling those things, own it. Own it. And then ask yourself, what's the next thought that will make me feel a little bit better? What can I think about that's going to make me feel just a little bit better? It's a little bit better. And I just gave you the basis of the emotional scale. You can Google emotional scale and you can look at all the emotions lined up on a scale from negative to positive, and you can go through all of that, and you can actually just kind of like, okay, well, what are some thoughts around this emotion? Because I'm going to just level up just a little bit. I'm going to just level up just a little bit. And when you get into that place, you start moving at the scale. You can move quicker with practice, but on the front side, you have to just kind of get in there and you have to go, okay, I'm not going to try to jump 5. I'm going to move 1. I'm going to feel like, okay, now I'm stable right here. Now I'm going to move up another. Feel like I'm stable here. All right, another. So it might take you a couple days to release your sadness, to release your anger, to release the self-pity that you've got yourself trapped in. But better take a couple days and really learn what is going on and learn how to control what's going on in here, that you are the master of your state of emotion. You are the master of your thinking. Nobody's making you think anything. Nobody's making you feel anyway. That's all that victim, wham, pain body shit. If I was Eckhart Tolle, that's what I would be saying. It's like, that's your pain body. That's that pain body. That's the ego putting that idea on you. That's what that is, and that it's something outside of yourself. That's old traumas that are being triggered. So we move into that, we're like, okay, yeah, I'm there. I'm sad. I'm mad. Own it. Just own it. And then ask yourself, what's that next best thing? What's that next best thought? Because if I can think something differently about any subject, and here's the thing, whatever subject in your life that you are feeling sad about or mad about or frustrated or irritated about, the truth of the matter is that right there is just letting you know how out of alignment you are with your truth, with what is actually going on, that you can shift it. So I encourage you to look at where you're holding that negative energy, that negative frequency, that vibration, which is causing the emotion that you're experiencing. And I encourage you to completely stop looking at that subject. Just stop looking at that subject. As crazy as that might sound, you might be, but I have really big shit that I gotta deal with on this. Stop looking at that subject just for today. Take your mind off of it and put your mind on something that feels good. Remember, it doesn't have to be that you're feeling elated. We're just going to something that feels good, okay? To something that makes you feel a little bit better. Bring your attention over there and start shifting your car down a different path. Get away from some of those potholes so that you can actually come back and deal with those things that you feel like all this tension around from a different energy level, a different emotional space tomorrow. Because if you elevate your emotional space today, tomorrow, you're going to have a completely different viewpoint on what that problem is. Okay? And you're going to have, guess what? Different options appear to you. Remember that as long as you are in the state of place that the problem is at, you are not helping the problem. You cannot help the problem by being part of the problem, by being in it. And that means by being in that energy of that problem, thinking problem thoughts. You have to come at it from a space outside of the problem. So here's how you get there. Take your focus off of whatever is troubling you and move to something that feels a little bit better. Revisit that problem in the next day or two once you get your emotional state of being, your thoughts, into a better space. So that you can actually see a bigger picture with more opportunities, more options, and you can come at things from a more healed perspective. And then remember this, every single time you have a challenge come up in your life and you feel just completely depleted and lost and hopeless, because this is the exact same process for any subject area, any issue in your life. And it is just saying that you are not in alignment with what you really truly believe and know at your core, at your soul level. So you are not yourself when you are sad. You are not yourself when you are in fear. You are not yourself when you are in anger. This is separation from who you are. And for any of you who were messaging me about your sadness, well, here you go. I answered back via Conscious Coffee today. You're welcome. You're welcome. It is. It's just a really great topic. And you know what better day to talk about it than a rainy, cold day when it's so much easier to feel just kind of stuck and lower energy, lower frequency. And, you know, it's actually proven that people are more depressed when it's overcasty out, because we need the natural vitamin D rays from the sun, like sun exposure. And we spend a lot of time inside in front of our screens and locked up. And guess what? Vitamin D does not carry through glass windows. It actually distorts the vitamin D, and we get a lot of ultraviolet rays that way, but we don't get the actual vitamin D. And vitamin D is a major contributing factor to our moods and how we process things, so that our chemical makeup physiologically, so that our chemical makeup can support our moods, and we need that vitamin D. So if you are in a sunny area, get your ass outside today, get some sunshine. And for all of my local peeps here, as soon as the sun comes out, go get some sun, natural exposure. Like go take a walk in the park and let that sun beat down on your face, on your shoulders. You know, reveal as much as your flesh to the sun as you possibly can, so that you can start to absorb that natural vitamin D. On another note, what do I have coming up? Max got moved. I'm trying to announce that a little bit. Max got moved, pushed out a month. He will be not coming at the end of January, but at the end of February now, due to uncontrollable situations and everything. He had to be bumped out. So that is there. But the shamanic visionary journey that we will be doing for Saturday, the 31st, the 29th of February. It will be on still, so you can definitely go to my website and look at the events page. If you're already signed up for that, you should have received a message on the transition of that particular event. Other events that I have coming up, ladies, local ladies, I have Empowering Bitch. There's just a couple spots available for this body mapping event that I do a couple times during the year. This is focused on the divine feminine. This is an empowerment exercise, ladies only, sorry guys. And we're going to just really step into an art therapy based project where we are tapping into all the aspects of the feminine. We're going to be looking at our inner children. We're going to be looking at our nurturer, our mother state. We're going to be looking at the seductress, the siren. We're going to be looking at the wise old woman, the crone. And we're going to really piece that together into a beautiful art project that we can embody the positive traits of that and see what the message of our soul is around those aspects of the feminine. On another note, you will be seeing coming out later this week for all the couples, I am going to be doing a Pathways to Relationships workshop. I believe I'm going to do it on the 8th of February. It will be an online event, and then I will possibly be doing this as a local event, but this will be an online event that you will be seeing coming out. And this is really talking about intimacy, connection, communication, love, all those things. How do we have that dynamic relationship? What are some of the characteristics? What are some of the things that we need to do inside of ourselves so that we can create those amazing relationships? And it's not just the romantic relationships. It is relationship in general. I mean, who would like to just have a beautiful relationship with their friends, with their child, with their parents, or with their lover? Like a really open, connective, authentic relationship where we feel fulfilled because we are allowed and allowing ourselves to stand in who we are and also receive who that other person is. That's what the topic of this workshop is. Look for the details to come out on that very soon. And as always, know that you are in charge of your life. You have the power. And when I say claim your life in different ways, all over in my articles and on my website and in Conscious Coffee, I'm constantly saying, claim your life, claim your life, claim your life. The topic of today is about claiming your life, knowing your power. Empowerment is really owning that I'm responsible for me. I'm responsible for my emotions. I'm responsible for my thoughts. I'm not a victim to life. I'm a volunteer to life. And I get to choose how I show up. So make a choice that makes you happy because you're worthy of happiness. You're worthy of love. And remember, stop existing, start living. I will catch you tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee. As always, if I said anything in this that made you think of somebody or just that made you think, hey, that's a good message, help me get these messages out. Touch the world by hitting the share button. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow on another Conscious Coffee.